Have you ever looked around and thought, why does everyone seem to be moving forward while I feel stuck? You're not lazy. You're not broken. And no, you haven't missed your chance. The truth is, that feeling of being stuck, it's not the end. It's the beginning. What if I told you that feeling lost, confused, even a little numb, is the first real sign that you're waking up? That life isn't punishing you. It's calling you to evolve, calling you to rise, to break out of the shell that no longer fits. You see, nobody ever told us this, but growth doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like doubt, like tension, like sitting in the dark, wondering if the light will ever come back on. But you're not stuck. You're becoming. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to break through. If you've ever felt like you're meant for more but can't explain why, stick with me until the end. This might be the most important video you'll hear this year. From the moment you were born, the world began to shape you. Be realistic. Follow the rules. Play it safe. So you did what they told you. You went to school. You got the job. You did everything right. But somewhere between promotions and paychecks, you lost something. Something quiet but powerful. Your fire. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. Most people aren't stuck because they lack motivation. They're stuck because they've outgrown the life they were told to want. You're not failing. You're waking up. And that's exactly what Napoleon Hill meant when he wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But he never said the path would feel comfortable. In fact, he warned us, the moment you start to pursue your own truth, the world will resist you because you're no longer obeying its script. There comes a moment, quiet, terrifying, sacred, where you realize the life you're living is too small for the person you're becoming. That's the call. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's just a whisper. I can't do this anymore. I don't know what's next, but I know this isn't it. This is the space between identities, between the old you and the real you. You haven't failed. You've reached the threshold. And most people, they run back. They numb out. They convince themselves to be grateful for a life that's secretly draining them. But not you. Because if you're still watching this, something inside you refuses to settle. But let's be real. When you try to change, everything fights you. Your mind starts shouting, what if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? And your subconscious, it pulls the emergency brake because it's terrified of the unknown. This is what Hill called hypnotic rhythm, the unconscious loop that keeps you stuck in the same patterns, same decisions, same fears. Your only limitation, Hill said, is the one you set up in your own mind. And this is where most people give up, not because they're weak, but because no one ever taught them. Resistance is not the end of the road. It's proof you're on it. Think of the seed underground. Before it becomes anything, it has to crack open, break through the darkness, push against the weight of the dirt. It doesn't feel like progress. It feels like destruction. But that's what transformation looks like. So how do you break through? It starts with the simple but radical truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them. The moment you realize that, you stop being a prisoner of fear. You stop letting self-doubt dictate your choices. You stop running in circles trying to fix yourself, because you were never broken. You were just unaligned. As Hill taught, The world has the habit of making room for the man whose words and actions show that he knows where he is going. And if you don't yet know where you're going, that's okay, because now you're awake. Now you're aware. And awareness is the seed of all power. So no, you're not stuck. You're standing on the edge of the greatest transformation of your life. But to cross the threshold, you'll need more than just belief. You'll need to reprogram the entire system that's been holding you back. In Part 2, I'll show you exactly how the subconscious mind has been sabotaging your growth and how to rewrite it using the same principles Napoleon Hill used to train millionaires. Don't miss it.
Most people never escape the invisible prison. They wake up, scroll, work, eat, sleep, repeat. And all the while, something inside of them quietly screams, there has to be more than this. But when they try to change, when they try to reach higher, the same thing always pulls them back, their subconscious mind. This is where the real battle begins. Because you can read all the books, watch all the motivational videos, and make all the vision boards in the world. But if your subconscious is programmed to survive, not succeed, then no amount of surface-level motivation will save you. And here's what they never taught you in school. 95% of your decisions, behaviors, and emotions are driven by the subconscious. It's not your logic that's running the show, it's your programming. Let me explain. As a child, you were like a sponge. Everything you saw, heard, and felt went straight into your subconscious without filter. If you were told, money is evil, or you're not good enough, or don't dream too big, those messages didn't just pass through. They became part of your operating system. Napoleon Hill understood this long before modern neuroscience caught up. He called it autosuggestion, the process by which the mind absorbs repeated thoughts and then begins to act on them. Any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind by repetition of thought. Napoleon Hill. And guess what? The world has already been feeding you repetition. Repetition of fear, of shame, of mediocrity. So, if you want to break through, you can't just change your actions. You have to reprogram the code beneath them. Here's how it works. The subconscious doesn't understand logic. It understands imagery. It understands repetition. So to rewire it, you must begin feeding it a new set of instructions, daily, emotionally charged, and aligned with your higher self. But first, you must interrupt the old patterns. Think about it like this. If you walk the same path through a forest every day, the trail becomes deeper, clearer, easier to follow. That's your subconscious habit loop. The more you repeat a thought, I'm not good enough, success is too hard, what's the point? The more that neural trail gets reinforced. But the moment you pause, turn, and walk a new path, something amazing happens. Your brain begins to create a new trail. At first, it's messy, unclear, full of resistance. But with repetition, the new path becomes the default. And that's how transformation happens, not all at once, but through daily intentional rewiring of your mind. That's why Napoleon Hill insisted on creating a definite major purpose and repeating it out loud every single day with feeling, not as a wish, but as a command. There is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. Hill. So, if you want to break through the stuck phase, it's time to stop wishing. It's time to start installing a new identity. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Your current life is a perfect reflection of your current self-image. If you believe you're not worthy of abundance, you will unconsciously sabotage opportunities. If you believe you're not capable of success, you'll procrastinate your way out of it. But if you believe you were born for more, if you believe you have something sacred to offer this world, your brain will start aligning with that belief. Here's how to begin. Step 1. Silence the noise. Turn off the distractions. You can't hear your higher calling if your mind is always full of other people's opinions. Step 2. Write your definite major purpose. Be bold, be clear. Describe the life you know you were meant to live. Read it out loud, every morning, every night. Step 3. Flood your subconscious with proof. Surround yourself with voices that remind you of who you truly are, not who the world told you to be. Listen to messages that elevate, not suppress. Read words that spark your spirit, not dull it. Because repetition creates belief, and belief becomes identity, and identity shapes destiny. You don't need to know the entire path yet. You only need to become the version of you who would never stay stuck again. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to want to quit. You're going to hear that voice say, "Who do you think you are?" But let me tell you something that may change everything. That voice isn't your enemy. It's the echo of your old identity fighting for survival. Let it scream and keep going. Because the real you, the one who dreams, the one who feels the call to more, isn't crazy. You're just early in the process. And the fact that it feels uncertain, that means it's working. Whatever you do, or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Goethe quoted by Hill. This isn't just motivation. This is neurological warfare, spiritual realignment. You are rewriting the deepest codes of who you are. And you're not alone. Millions of people feel stuck, not because they lack discipline, but because they've never been taught how to master their own mind. But now you know. And knowing gives you power. So the next time that old belief shows up, telling you that you can't, that you shouldn't, that it's too late, remember this. That voice isn't the truth. It's just familiar. And what's familiar is not always what's right for you. You're not stuck. You're simply standing at the door of a new identity, and the key is in your hand. In part 3, I'll show you the exact step-by-step method to design the version of you that's already living your purpose, and how to align your daily behavior with your deepest calling. This is where your new life begins. Don't miss it.
Now that you understand how your subconscious mind has been running the show, it's time to do something most people never even attempt. Design the identity of your future self on purpose. Because here's the truth. Your identity is not fixed. It's not who you are. It's who you keep telling yourself you are. And when you shift that story, everything changes. So let's get real. If the version of you that feels stuck isn't working, then who is the version of you that's free? Who is the you that has clarity, peace, direction, and power? Close your eyes and see them. Where do they live? How do they speak? What do they believe about themselves? What do they do when they wake up in the morning? That version of you exists, and it's not a fantasy, it's a frequency. You don't become them by hoping, you become them by aligning. And alignment isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You decide to wake up and move like the version of you who already has what you seek, to speak with conviction, to act with purpose, to walk into rooms like you belong, because you do. Napoleon Hill understood this better than anyone. He taught that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Until you have a definite purpose and the will to subordinate everything else to that purpose, you will never achieve success. Napoleon Hill. You don't attract success by accident. You become success by design. But here's the mistake most people make. They try to change their results without changing their self-image. And the self-image is the master key. If deep down you still believe you're unworthy, unprepared, or behind, It doesn't matter what goals you write down. Your subconscious will keep pulling you back to where it feels safe, even if that place is miserable. So here's what you must do next. Install a new self-image. And you do that by combining three things: vision, emotion, and repetition. Let's break it down. First, vision. Write it, speak it, obsess over it. Not just what you want, but who you are becoming. Say it out loud. I am focused. I am calm. I am built for this. Not someday, now. Second, emotion. You can't just go through the motions. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to dry words. It responds to feeling. Charge your vision with energy. Make your heart beat faster when you speak your truth. If your affirmations don't move you, they'll never move your life. Third, repetition. This isn't a one-time thing. You need to become obsessed with the new you. Morning, night, in the mirror, in the car, in your journal. Because repetition creates familiarity, and what's familiar becomes reality. You're not faking it, you're forging it. Every time you choose the identity of your future self over your past self, you strengthen the new pattern. And just like a muscle, it grows. Let me give you a hard truth. You can't hang on to your old identity and still live your new life. One has to go. You can't be both the victim and the visionary. You can't be both stuck and soaring. You must choose. And that choice won't always feel good. You'll feel resistance. You'll feel fear. Your ego will scream, "This isn't you." But let me ask you, who decided who you is? Because if you didn't choose it, someone else did. Maybe your parents, maybe your environment, maybe a traumatic moment when you were 12. But today, right now, you reclaim authorship. You get to reintroduce yourself to the world as the version of you that was buried. Not broken, just buried. And when you do that, something incredible happens. The world starts responding differently. Why? Because your energy changes, and energy is everything. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. When you walk through life as someone who knows their worth, who speaks with clarity, who no longer begs for validation, people feel it. Opportunities feel it. Life feels it. When defeat comes, accept it as a signal that your plans are not sound. Rebuild those plans and set sail once more toward your coveted goal. Napoleon Hill. You're not starting over. You're starting aligned. Let me make this practical. Every morning for the next 30 days, wake up and ask yourself, what would the future me do today? Would they sleep in? Would they doubt themselves? Would they scroll endlessly? Or would they move with intention? Would they keep a promise to themselves? Would they speak up, take action, and lead? You already know the answer. The question is, will you act on it? Because the fastest way to become your future self is to act like them now. This isn't fake. It's faith. Faith in the unseen version of you that's always been there, waiting to be activated. And if you fall short, if you mess up, if you slip, good. That means you're in the arena. That means you're shedding the old skin. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency. One aligned day, then another, then a week, then a month, and suddenly you look in the mirror and don't recognize yourself. Not because you've changed,
but because you've returned to who you were always meant to be. In Part 4, I'll walk you through the one daily routine that high achievers use to reinforce their new identity and how you can use it to build unstoppable momentum starting tomorrow morning. We're just getting started.
Most people wake up and check their phone, scroll social media, get hit with bad news, comparison, noise, and before their feet even touch the ground, their energy is already drained. That's how you lose the day, before it even begins. But the highest performers, the ones who break free, break through, and never look back, they own their mornings, because they understand one thing: momentum is manufactured. You don't wait for clarity, you create it. And it starts with one simple truth. Your first 90 minutes after waking determine the energy, focus, and self-belief you carry the rest of the day. Napoleon Hill didn't just talk about having a purpose. He built a daily system around that purpose. He called it definiteness of plan. Success requires no explanations. Failure permits no alibis. Napoleon Hill. So if you're serious about becoming who you're meant to be, then it's time to stop letting your mornings be controlled by randomness and start using them as rocket fuel. Let me give you the exact routine. Not some fluffy checklist, but a daily ritual that will reprogram your identity, build discipline, and generate momentum fast. Step 1. Command your mind. Before you touch your phone, before you talk to anyone, sit in silence. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and reconnect with who you're becoming. Repeat your definite major purpose out loud, not with hesitation, but with belief. Say it with conviction. I am the architect of my destiny. My purpose is clear. My actions align with greatness. It might feel fake at first, but that's just the old you resisting. You're not lying to yourself. You're reminding your brain what's true. Step 2. Move your body. Shift your energy. Stagnant energy is stuck energy, and the fastest way to shift your state is physical motion. Walk, stretch, do push-ups, breathe deeply, dance if you have to. Why? Because the body is the vehicle of belief. When you move like someone who's powerful, your brain starts catching up. You're no longer surviving. You're signaling, I'm alive, I'm awake, I'm here. Step 3. Clarity over chaos. Open a journal. Write one powerful sentence. Today, I choose to become. And finish that sentence with intention. Today, I choose to become focused. Today, I choose to become relentless. Today, I choose to become peaceful. This is how you stop being reactive and start being creative. Most people spend their mornings reacting to life. You're going to direct it. Step 4. One promise, one victory. Ask yourself, what is one meaningful action I can take today that moves me closer to the life I want? Just one. Then do it no matter what. Because the fastest way to rebuild trust with yourself is not motivation. It's keeping promises. Small promises. Daily wins. That's how confidence is built. Not in loud declarations, but in quiet consistency. Deliberately seek the company of people who influence you to think and act on building the life you desire. Napoleon Hill. That includes the company of your future self. Make them your first conversation every morning. Not the news, not your notifications, not your past, your future. That's who you serve now. Let me be clear, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being deliberate.
Even if your life feels chaotic, even if you're facing setbacks, even if nothing makes sense, this ritual will ground you. It will give you a foundation, and when the world shakes, you'll still stand tall because your mornings are rooted in who you're becoming, not who you used to be. You don't need more hours in the day. You need more alignment in the hours you already have. And alignment is built in the first 90 minutes. No more random mornings. No more starting from zero every day. You are building a system that builds you. And here's the bonus secret. When you win your morning, you win your mind. When you win your mind, you win your day. And when you stack enough winning days, your old life can no longer find you, because you've outgrown it. You've become someone else, someone focused, someone powerful, someone unrecognizable in the best way. And the people around you, they'll start to notice. They'll say things like, "You're different. You seem more driven. What changed?" And you'll smile, because they don't know you're not just changing routines. You're rebuilding reality from the inside out. And it started with the decision to own your mornings, to master your energy, to speak your purpose into existence before the world had a chance to tell you who to be. In Part 5, I'll reveal how to overcome the fear that keeps pulling you back and the psychology of resistance that destroys more dreams than failure ever could. You've made it this far. Keep going. You're closer than you think.
You've been doing everything right. Rewiring your mind, owning your mornings, aligning with your purpose. But suddenly, fear creeps in again. The doubt, the hesitation, the voice that whispers, "Who are you to believe in yourself?" Sound familiar? That voice is resistance, and it doesn't come because you're weak. It comes because you're growing. You see, most people misunderstand fear. They think fear is a stop sign. They think fear means something's wrong. But the truth is, fear shows up when you're headed toward truth. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Napoleon Hill. Fear isn't the enemy, it's the signal, the compass. It points to the exact place you've been avoiding, the place where your breakthrough lives. Think of resistance like a defense system. Its job is to protect your comfort zone, because your subconscious doesn't want you to change. Not because it hates you, but because it doesn't understand what's unfamiliar. It's wired for survival, not greatness. So the moment you stretch, start a business, speak your truth, set a boundary, leave the relationship, say yes to your dream, that defense system kicks in. And it whispers, "Not now. You're not ready. Stay safe." But here's what the greats know. You will never eliminate fear, but you can reframe it. You can teach your mind that fear is not a threat, it's a green light. Every time resistance shows up, it means you're facing the edge of expansion, the edge of the old identity. And here's what's wild. The fear you're feeling is not even about the event. It's about the meaning you've attached to it. You're not scared of failure. You're scared of what you think failure says about you. You're not scared of being seen. You're scared of being judged. You're not scared of taking action. You're scared that action might prove your doubts right. But none of that is truth. It's just programming. And you're the programmer now. So let's break this cycle once and for all. Here's how. Step 1. Name the resistance. When fear shows up, don't numb it. Don't scroll past it. Look it in the eye and ask, what story am I telling myself right now? You'll be shocked at how old and repetitive it is. I'm not enough. I'll be rejected. It won't work. It's the same script playing on loop. The moment you name it, you disarm it, because clarity kills confusion. Step 2. Interrupt the pattern. As soon as the thought hits, move your body, clap your hands, stand up, breathe deeply. Say out loud, "That's not my story anymore." Don't underestimate this. Your body stores fear, and movement is how you release it. You're not just shifting thoughts, you're shifting state. And when your state changes, your actions change. Step 3. Create a new meaning. This is the game changer. Instead of "I'm scared to do this," try "I'm expanding and my body feels it." Instead of "I'm not ready," try "I'm stepping into new territory, and that's exactly what I asked for." This is what Hill meant when he said, "Fears are nothing more than a state of mind." Fear is a story. Change the story. Change the power it has over you. Let's go deeper. Why does resistance grow stronger the closer you get to your goal? Because the closer you get, the more your brain realizes, this is real now. It's one thing to want a new life. It's another to receive it. And receiving requires identity death. You must let go of being the struggler, the doubter, the almost successful one. Because when you arrive, the story changes, and part of you mourns the version you've always been. That grief is real, but it's also a portal. The ladder of success is never crowded at the top. Napoleon Hill. The fear at the top is not the same at the bottom. It's lonelier, it's quieter, but it's also clearer. And here's the secret. You don't overcome fear by eliminating it. You overcome it by acting anyway. The fastest way to shrink fear is through movement. Write the post, make the call, record the video, start the thing. Your brain can't hold on to fear when your body is in motion. And once you build that habit, you become unstoppable. Because now, fear is no longer a wall. It's a signpost. It says you're on the right track. Keep going. You're entering your next chapter. And when you trust that, when you stop waiting to feel ready, you start collapsing time. What used to take you years takes you months. What used to scare you starts to excite you. Because now you've trained your nervous system to associate fear with growth, not danger. And that changes everything. You're not stuck. You're leveling up. You're facing the threshold most people avoid their entire lives. But not you. You're learning how to feel the fear and rise anyway. In Part 6, I'll reveal the secret weapon that turns all of this into real-world results: environment. How your surroundings either pull you forward or chain you to your past, and how to architect a life that accelerates your transformation every single day. Don't miss it. You're becoming.
You've done the inner work. You're rewriting your identity. You've learned how to reframe fear. But there's still one force, one invisible force that can make or break your transformation. Your environment. Not just where you live, not just who you know, but the entire atmosphere around you, physically, mentally, digitally, emotionally. Because here's the truth. You can't grow in soil that keeps choking your roots. You are the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your own environment. Napoleon Hill. Your environment is not neutral. It's either pulling you forward or pulling you back. And most people stay stuck, not because they're weak, but because they're surrounded by energy that's designed to keep them small. Let's go deeper. Environment equals energy. Think about your room, your workspace, your phone, your conversations, your habits. Every one of those things is either reinforcing the new you or dragging you back into the old identity. You can't talk about transformation all day and then spend your night scrolling through chaos, gossip, or negativity. That's not discipline. That's sabotage. If your outer world doesn't reflect your inner world, they will cancel each other out. Let's start with people. Look around your life. Who celebrates your evolution? Who feels threatened by it? Not everyone will clap when you grow. Some will try to shrink you. Not because they're evil, but because your courage reminds them of their compromise. They liked you better when you were stuck, because that made them comfortable. But you weren't born to make people comfortable. You were born to wake up. Deliberately seek the company of people who influence you to think and act on building the life you desire. Napoleon Hill. That's not selfish. That's necessary. Your circle is a mirror. If everyone around you thinks small, plays safe, avoids truth, how long before you start doing the same thing? You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You fall to the standard of your environment. Now let's talk about digital space. What are you feeding your mind? Every scroll, every click, every video, every song, it's planting something in you. Seeds of strength or seeds of fear? Are you following creators who light your fire or numbing yourself with content that keeps you asleep? Because here's what most don't realize. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and repetition. If you're watching people win every day, speak truth, walk in purpose, your brain begins to accept that as normal. But if you're watching drama, outrage, and emptiness, your brain thinks that's normal too. So what's your digital diet? Are you feeding the warrior inside you or starving it? Now your physical space. Look around your room right now. Is it designed for growth or for comfort? Does it inspire movement or invite distraction? You don't need a mansion. You need intention. Maybe it's a clean desk, a powerful quote on the wall, a morning playlist that fires you up, a notebook on your nightstand that reminds you of your mission. Small things, massive energy shift. Because your environment speaks to your nervous system. When your space is clear, your focus sharpens. When your world is in order, your soul can breathe. And finally, ritual. What do you repeat in your environment? Because repetition is how identity locks in. Wake up in the same energy, move with the same fire, speak the same words of life. Every day. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be intentional. Let me give you a practical challenge. For the next 7 days, redesign your environment like your future depends on it, because it does. Start by asking, what drains me that I need to remove? What inspires me that I need to increase? Who do I need less of? Who do I need more of? This is your environment audit. No more passive living. No more hoping the world will align with your growth. You're the architect now. You don't just build goals. You build the world where those goals can survive. Napoleon Hill said, "Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you're ready or not." Well, this is that plan. This is your reset, your space, your circle, your inputs, your rituals. You are training your life to support the new you. And once that alignment clicks, change becomes inevitable. Because now, you're not just relying on willpower, you've built a system that carries you when your emotions don't. You don't have to be strong every day. You just have to be supported by a structure that holds your vision steady. And that structure is your environment. In Part 7, I'll show you how to convert all this inner alignment and outer preparation into unshakable momentum, the kind that doesn't fade, doesn't rely on motivation, and carries you all the way through your breakthrough. We're not slowing down, we're locking in. Let's keep going.
You've done the hard work. You've confronted your fears. You've reprogrammed your identity. You've rebuilt your environment. Now comes the part that separates the dreamers from the doers, the motivated from the unstoppable. Momentum. Not the kind that lasts a few hours after a motivational video. Not the kind that fades by Friday. I'm talking about sustainable, unshakable, relentless momentum. The kind that makes success feel inevitable. And here's the truth. Momentum doesn't come from hype. It comes from motion. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand. Napoleon Hill. The problem is, most people think momentum is something you wait for. They wait until they feel confident, until they have all the answers, until life calms down. But momentum is not something you wait for. It's something you create. You create it with tiny decisions, tiny wins, tiny disciplines that stack up over time until they become unstoppable force. Let's break it down. Momentum is built on 3 pillars: clarity, consistency, courage. Without all 3, you'll keep stalling. Let's start with clarity. If you don't know where you're going, your energy will scatter. You'll try a little of this, a little of that. You'll burn out. But when your vision is clear, your yes is powerful, and so is your no. So revisit your definite major purpose. Refine it. Simplify it. Repeat it. Clarity gives your actions direction. Now, consistency. This is where most people fall. They think momentum is about doing something massive once, but the truth is, it's about doing something meaningful daily. A 10-minute workout, a phone call you've been avoiding, 1 page of a book, 1 commitment kept. Small steps, same direction, every day. It's not sexy, but it's sacred. Because the real power isn't in how fast you move, it's in how long you stay aligned. And finally, courage. You will hit walls. You will have bad days. You will want to quit. That's not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're on the edge of expansion. Courage is what keeps you moving when clarity fades and consistency gets hard. Courage says, I don't feel ready, but I move anyway. I'm scared, but I press send anyway. I'm tired, but I show up anyway. And that energy, that movement, that's what builds momentum. Patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. Napoleon Hill. So here's what I want you to do. For the next 30 days, choose 1 powerful action that you will commit to daily. Just 1. It could be waking up and repeating your purpose out loud, writing for 15 minutes a day, going for a walk without your phone, posting 1 piece of value online, studying success principles for 20 minutes. Small, focused, unshakable. This is your anchor action. Why 1? Because complexity kills momentum, but simplicity creates rhythm. And when rhythm takes over, discipline becomes automatic. You stop needing to push yourself. Your system pulls you. Let me show you something. Imagine pushing a car up a hill. At first, it's heavy. Every inch feels like war. But if you keep going, if you don't stop, if you lean into the resistance, eventually you reach the peak. And then, gravity flips. Now the car moves without force. Now momentum is working for you. Most people quit 3 feet from that tipping point. They say, "It's not working. I'm not built for this. It's taking too long." But it's not taking too long. It's building pressure. And pressure becomes power if you don't give up. That's why this season of your life requires faith in the invisible. Because the results won't show immediately, but the roots are growing. And the moment you stop, you kill the seed. You don't water a plant once and then curse it for not blooming. You nurture it, protect it, let it breathe, let it stretch. You're doing the same with your identity. So keep going. Even when it feels pointless, even when no one's watching, even when the voices get loud, especially then, because those are the moments where momentum is made. Let me give you a bonus tool. Track your wins. Every night, write down 3 things. One thing you did that moved you forward, one lesson you learned, one thing you're proud of. This is how you teach your brain to celebrate progress, not just perfection. Because when you celebrate progress, you become addicted to movement. And when movement becomes your lifestyle, stuck becomes impossible. You're not meant to live in cycles. You're meant to rise in spirals. Every lap you take, you rise higher. Even if it feels like you're back in the same place, look closer. You've got more wisdom now, more clarity, more grit. That's growth. And growth leads to breakthrough. In Part 8, I'll show you how to finish the transformation, how to claim your new identity fully, step into the life you've been preparing for, and close the gap between who you are and who you were born to be. You didn't come this far to stop here. Let's finish this.
You've walked through the fire. You've rewired your mind. You've rebuilt your environment. You've created real momentum. And now, it's time to finish the transformation. Because the truth is, you were never really stuck. You were just becoming. But becoming is not the end of the journey. There comes a moment when you must do something bold, something final, something that feels terrifying because it means there's no going back. That moment is this. You must step fully into your new identity. No more half in. No more 1 foot in the old life, 1 foot in the dream. No more using your past as an excuse or a safety net. It's time to burn the boats. Because here's what no one tells you about transformation. The scariest part is not starting. It's owning it. Not hoping you'll change, not planning to change, being the change. And that means letting go. Not just of what didn't work, but of who you were when it didn't. No man can succeed in a line of endeavor which he does not like. Napoleon Hill. You can't step into your power while still apologizing for having it. You can't speak with authority while still doubting your voice. You can't lead if you're still waiting for permission to begin. So this is the final shift. Identity over effort. You don't become great by trying harder. You become great by believing deeper. Not in the world, not in luck, in yourself. Because your new identity isn't a wish, it's a decision. You decide, I no longer shrink. I no longer explain myself to stay acceptable. I no longer betray my purpose to make others comfortable. This is your line in the sand. And once you cross it, something amazing happens. You begin to operate from a new standard. You're no longer trying to get somewhere. You are someone. And everything in your life starts to rearrange itself to match that. Because energy doesn't lie. And when your internal state changes,
your external world catches up. This is what Hill called faith backed by action. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration. This is where everything accelerates. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe. And belief must be embodied. So here's the final framework. Decide who you are now, not who you're becoming, not who you hope to be. Who are you now? Speak it, claim it. I am focused. I am a creator. I am powerful. Align your actions with that identity. What would that version of you say yes to today? What would they walk away from without guilt? What habits would they never entertain again? Expect resistance and move anyway. The old life will come knocking. People will test the new you. Doubts will rise. But now you know, resistance is a sign of elevation. Move through it. Create rituals that reinforce your new normal. Morning declarations, nightly reflection, clean space, high vibe input, purposeful routines. Your systems protect your standard. Declare the mission. Don't just transform for yourself. Share it. Serve. Speak. Teach. Because when you become the evidence, others wake up. This is how movements begin. One person who finally says, no more pretending, no more hiding. I know who I am, and I will live like it. That person is you. You've earned this. You've walked through confusion, fear, resistance, and shame. And now you carry clarity, fire, focus, and peace. But don't keep it to yourself, because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more truth. And your voice, your presence, might be the one thing that helps someone else finally say, if they can rise, maybe I can too. You've become the proof, not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. Willing to face yourself, willing to break the patterns, willing to rise again and again. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Napoleon Hill. You conceived it, you believed it, and now it's time to achieve it. Let this moment be the day you stop trying to change and start living changed. The world will feel it. People will be drawn to you, not because you chased them, but because you became someone impossible to ignore. You've gone from stuck to shifting to soaring. So take a breath. Look around. You're no longer in the waiting room of your life. You're in it. Now walk forward with fire in your lungs and peace in your chest. The doors are open. The past is behind you, and everything you've been asking for is asking for you too. This is it. You're not stuck anymore. You're ready.